So this video is just meant to show you where some very important parts of ALEKS are located. I have a student set up here for a random student, and I want to point out a couple of quick things. First off, notice right now that right here it says OpenPy. This is a special thing to notice because if you have an objective that you are working on that's due in a couple of days, you're not going to see OpenPy. As soon as you see OpenPy, that means that you've learned everything you need to learn for the next due date. Down here, you see that I have 198 topics in this class. That means for this class, there are 198 topics in the total class for the entire quarter. This does not mean that you have to learn all 198 before the next due date. Because this student is in OpenPy already, they've learned everything that they need to know for this due date. Now let me show you where some information is located. First off, when you come in here, you can click Continue My Path. This will send you to a question, and it will continue you along the path that ALEKS has set you on. But that doesn't mean that that's the only thing that you can do. If you click this arrow, you pull down the topic carousel. The topic carousel lets you click on other things. Perhaps you don't want to work on nuclear and organic chemistry right now. Perhaps you'd like to work on kinetics and equilibrium. You can do that. Now come and click up on Ready to Learn. Let me point some things out. Right here, it says that there are 35 total topics. This does not mean that all 35 topics are due by the next due date. Remember, this student has already done everything they need to do as noted by the OpenPy in the initial screen. What this means is that they have all of the prereqs for 35 topics. It means that if they want to get ahead, they can learn these 35 topics. Now, let's move on to this. This says 100% completed. This means that they have complete mastery over this topic. Everything that they need to do is done. As we come down to these lower objectives, you'll see that they have some that are ready to learn, in some total. So this objective is not done yet. We can click on it, and it will take us to that objective. We can click on this, and it will take us to this objective. You can also use this to navigate if you want to get ahead, but you want to ensure that you're ahead for the next due date and not some later due date far off in the future. Say that we are currently on week 1, part 1. And let's say that you've completed everything that you need to do, but you have some free time and you want to get ahead. You'll just come down, click on week 1, part 2, and then you can click and you can get ahead. If you've completed that and you want to get ahead some more and you want to make sure you're doing it in order, simply come to week 2, part 1, and you can do the same. You can also look for topics with filters. You can click to find any topic. Let's go back to Ready to Learn. You can click to show any topic. This student doesn't need more practice on anything, but perhaps you do. The program can recognize that. You could click on this. You can click on the Unlocked. This is anything that is open to you, ready to learn. You can sort by the type of pie slice or by the difficulty level. You can also review. This will send you to things that you already know and have already learned, but want more practice on. Now let me show you where there's some important information. Click on this 3-line menu. Some call it a hamburger menu. And see your options. Let's go through them in order. We've already seen Learn. Learn is where you're going to be doing all your work. You can also get to your review topics from here. This will bring you to things that you may want to review. We can also go to assignments. This is a relatively boring set of assignments right now because I'm looking at a class that hasn't started yet. But this will change as you go along and show you what you need to do next. Don't worry about the worksheets. That's not something that you will need or use. The calendar will show you when things are due. These are also located in Canvas, but it's helpful to have them in multiple places. Because this class hasn't started yet, this is pretty empty for the current month. But if I move forward, you can see where all the due dates are. Coming back, let's go to the gradebook. Here, you'll see a couple of grades. This section lets you know what you got on each objective. That's going to be related to whether you did the assigned objectives on time. If you complete objectives on time, you'll have 100% here. Sometimes you'll take an assessment, and an assessment will test what you know about the upcoming assignments, and it will also test you on things that you should already know from previous objectives. If you had previously learned an objective, but now you don't know it, you no longer have that progress. This will show you your progress as related to what you actually know at the time of the assessment. So perhaps you did all the objectives on time, and then you forgot some of the material. This will go down. This part will go up and down throughout the course. You can add to it at any time by completing more of the pie, which I'll show you in a minute. This number, you must complete the objectives on time to have equal 100%. You can also go to reports, which gives you several important pieces of information that you may want to know. It will tell you your current objective. In this case, they are on the prerequisite review and they've completed everything, so they are all done. It will show you the pie, which shows how much of any given set of information you know at this moment. Remember, this can go up and down depending on if you forget material. Let's click on this. This gives you a more full breakdown. You may or may not want to use this section. It may be helpful to look at from time to time. I highly suggest that you read this Tell Me More About ALEKS. I also have this listed on Canvas under ALEKS Information. You can come here and learn about what the homework system is designed to do. This is a very special and very different program. Taking a few minutes to understand its purpose, understand how to use it, and understand how to get the most out of it will save you hours of work later on. You can also go to ALEKSpedia and click on anything that you want to learn or read more about. This is like a textbook inside of ALEKS. Lastly, of course, we can go home and you can see two different views here. Now that we've seen everything else, we can talk a little bit more on this page. This will give you a timeline. This shows you what is due in the upcoming days. Of course, since this course hasn't started yet when I made this video, there isn't anything left here, but normally you will see several lines and several little indicators like this telling you what is due when. If we switch to all, we can see this. Lastly, we have the ALEKS pie. This shows you what you'll need to learn by the end of the quarter. The date of the last objective due is the date that your pie is due. You should make sure that you are keeping up with the material that you forget. Otherwise, on the last day of class, you'll have a lot of material to learn. If this number seems lower or you notice that it goes down, or you think, I feel like I'm not on track for finishing my pie, it's easy to check back. Go back to continue my path, go back to the topic carousel, and go back to any of your previous objectives. These will show percentages. If you forget something, the percentage will go down. For instance, here, if later on this student forgets material that was in the prerequisite review, this will go down to 80. You could click on this, and materials would show up here to help you know what you need to learn. Let's go back home. So keep an eye on this, and occasionally go back and check your other objectives that are already complete and make sure that you haven't forgotten any material. Especially in a summer class, you need to make sure that you keep up. But even in the 10-week long classes, you need to continually go back or you'll have too much to do on that last day. And that's all I have for you in this video. Please make sure to read the ALEKS information either on Canvas or on the link that I showed you in here to learn more about the theory behind ALEKS and why I'm having you do it.